Hi guys. I've decided that this weekend I just wanted to set myself up for a lot of stress, a lot of turmoil, because do I work best under a lot of anxiety? Maybe. I think so. Like, it makes me feel like utter crap, but maybe my best work and my biggest accomplishments get done under pressure. I've decided that I'm gonna do a 24-hour readathon while in the midst of finals week. All of that right there just sounds like a terrible plan, but in my head, I think it sounds like it might be okay. It's the weekend, so it's not finals week right now, but all of my finals are basically just projects, papers, group projects, like all of this random stuff. I've literally been procrastinating it all week, and I only have 2 weeks left of school, so I really need to get it done. A lot of it is literally just due tomorrow, but I also have not been reading as much as I want to be reading, and I have not been able to start my May TBR because I've just been in this loop of like doing my homework, and I keep being like, I can't start a book until my homework is finished. I think the only way that I'll get moving into my May TBR is if I do this 24-hour readathon challenge. And by the way, I'm not doing it where I'm staying up and pulling an all-nighter and reading for 24 hours straight. Like, I'm not doing that, because that's literally like, no. I have to wake up for school on Monday. I can't, no. I'll set the timer for 24 hours, and then whenever I am reading, then I'll let it run, and then it'll stop. Whenever I take breaks, whenever I sleep, whenever I eat, whenever I'm not reading a book is when it'll stop. So basically we'll see how long it takes me and how many books I could read in this 24-hour period over a course of like a few days. Hopefully it only takes a few days. I'm gonna start out first with doing some homework. Yeah. But let me tell you my current read. I'm still on Shatter Me. And it's literally just because I have not had the time to fully sit down and read it. It's not because I don't like the book. I really love the book, but I just have not had the time. So this video is when I'm gonna hopefully have the time. Before we get into the readathon, I just wanted to quickly thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Book of the Month. If you guys haven't heard of Book of the Month, they're basically an online book subscription service that's goal is to make finding books so much easier for readers. Basically, each month they do all the research for you, and they find 5 to 7 of the best books for you to choose from. They also like to focus on highlighting emerging and new authors, which I really like because I think that allows for readers to discover new authors and even genres that they may have never even tried before. Book of the Month also offers really good prices on new released hardcover fiction books, but now you could also choose each month between getting your book in hardcover or choosing to get it in audiobook and downloading it and listening to it straight from the app. These are the 2 new releases I got. I got Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez and The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. And I've never heard of these authors. I'm in my rom-com era, in my rom-com mood, as you guys know. So I'm excited to try out these new authors. The covers look gorgeous, stunning, amazing, my vibe. If you guys are interested in Book of the Month and you want to get your hand on some books for good deals and just an overall good vibe with a cute blue box coming to your door every month, then you could use code FLOWERS to get your first book for just $5. And I'll also put the code and the link to Book of the Month down in my description, but definitely check them out because I'm really excited. I'm excited to get into these. My first assignment is my film history homework. So basically I have to watch 2 films and then write a response to them, which sounds good and fine in theory, but I'm not a huge fan of watching films.
I don't know, but girlfriend has it going on, and I think I figured out what my project's be.
Life is really not on my side today. I have a fever. Like, it started a little bit in the morning, and then around, what time is it now? It's now 6:30. It started a little bit in the morning, and then after I ate, like around 1, 2 o'clock, it just hit me like a bus. Like my whole body aches, I'm shivering, it's not even cold. My head is pounding me, and I'm just not vibing with it. I'm not gel vibing with it. So I have a fever. Like I literally have not started reading. How is this a 24-hour readathon and I have not started reading? Not a single assignment that I was meant to do has been handed in. But we're gonna take a quick nap, and then we're gonna wake up and we're gonna get back in the zone. Cause I just, physically, it hurts to sit. It hurts to sit at my desk chair right now. The elephant in the room, I took out the starter locks. I think I was just over not feeling confident in my hair, and I think the mistake that I made was chopping off all my hair. So now we've learned, when I do my starter locks, I'm not gonna chop off all my hair. So now I'm just gonna let my hair grow, and then I'm gonna wait until it grows and then do the locks again. It was just really annoying me because like every time I looked at myself in the camera, in the mirror, I was just like not feeling my best. So I was like, do I really want to go through like all this time not feeling my best when I could just start over, take them out, let my hair grow, and then start fresh and then feel more confident about it. So that's what I did. Update on the fever. I woke up this morning and I still had like the chills and everything. It was not a vibe. I went on the internet and I realized I'm supposed to be taking Tylenol. So I took Tylenol. I took that like 2 hours ago. I feel not amazing, but I feel like so much better. Like the chills have pretty much disappeared. So I was like feeling so dumb because all I needed to do was take Tylenol yesterday and I would have felt so much better. Finished one of my assignments, so I have 4 more left to do, but I think we just need to get started reading because I keep putting it off, and the whole point was for me to not put it off. You really appreciate how your body is when you're not sick, when you're sick. And it's only when you're sick do you appreciate being normal. Where is it? Oh, there it is. My Tylenol has worn off, so the chills are back, the pains are back, the aches and pains are back, and I feel like a fiend because I'm like, I need the Tylenol again. But it's okay because I'm allowed to take 2 every 6 hours, and as long as I'm not taking more than 6 in 24 hours, I'm good. I need it. I took that Tylenol, and after waiting 40 minutes, I felt like the fever was non-existent. And that to me was both scary and magnificent because I was like, drugs are really a crazy thing. Because how did that happen? Please let me taking 2 more. My throat hurts so bad. Ugh. We're at 2 hours and 39 minutes, and I've completed Shatter Me finally. This has literally taken me 2 weeks, and I swear I probably wouldn't have gotten it done if I didn't force myself to do this and like force myself to like read for a prolonged period of time, because I just keep getting distracted, and then, you know, I feel like I need time to ruminate. Like I can't give you a rating yet because I think this is such an iconic series. I don't want to say anything lightly. I absolutely really liked the book. I really liked the book. I think it's really hard because I read it over such a long period of time. So like my feelings of everything aren't fresh. I loved the ending of it. I think like everything that I've read today was just like, like it was great. Like it was magnificent. I love this dystopian world. I think I really love dystopias, but I love this dystopia because it also has some elements of like kind of fantasy. There's kind of magic going on. I don't know if it's really magic, but it's a really great world. I think the only thing, it's not throwing me off, but the only thing that's leaving me like pondering, but everybody talks about how Aaron Warner is like the best. Everybody is on their knees for Aaron Warner. And at the end of this, I'm really into Adam Kent and Juliet. Like I think they're a cute, fun, fresh vibe. And I cannot picture Juliet with Aaron at this point at all, which actually is making me want to read the series more because I need to understand how this occurs. Like how does Shorty jump from point A to point ZQXY? But I actually kind of vibe with Juliet. Sometimes she's a little soft. She's a little soft gal, but I think that she's gonna develop into like a strong kind of badass character. And I think that character development is gonna be pretty cool. I'll give my rating at the end of this video because I don't know. I really liked it though, but I don't know. I need to like go through everything, think it through, watch some TikToks, feel that vibe. 2 hours and 39 minutes. We haven't even made a dent. And I don't know which book I'm gonna read next. Actually, I think I do. And I'm kind of dreading it, which is probably really bad. The next book I'm going to do is Heir of Fire. And if you guys know, you know that I've been trying to get through this book for literally 2 months, and then I kind of put it on hold because I was like, I cannot right now, because it kind of put me in a reading slump, and I was like, I cannot do this. This is the third book in the Throne of Glass mega series by Sarah J. Maas. In this book, first of all, it's really dense. And second of all, we get introduced to a lot of new characters in this book that aren't in the first two. I feel like that's fun and fresh, but to me, it was just a lot. And I was just like, coming straight off of the first and second book, I wasn't expecting to have to care about all of these new people, especially all of these new relationships. Like, I was a bit salty about some of the new relationships, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like the only way that I'm ever gonna get through this is if I force myself to read it in this 24-hour period. Like, I feel like this 24-hour period is going to force me to try to get through this. I'm on page 120 out of like 500 and something. So actually this might set me up to fail because I'm a very slow reader. I don't know how many pages I can actually read in 24 hours. This book seems very thick. This book and then Assassin's Blade, which is the novellas for Throne of Glass, are the two books on my May TBR that I'm like, I think I'm just a bit scared to get back into the Sarah J. Maas world because it's so large. It's a lot. It's like a lot going on. It's a bit daunting. So I'm like a bit daunted and I want to get into my cute, fun rom-coms that are like standalones, but I feel like I need to get these out of the way. I really hate my life right now. At this point, this video is just Maya experiencing the stages of having the flu. Currently, I'm in this stage where I'm popping the Tylenols. So I'm on Tylenol right now. My body feels fine, but I've lost the taste in my mouth. Or I haven't lost it, but every time I try to eat something, it tastes like it's laced in metal, and my tongue feels so metallic and disgusting. Like literally the taste of my tongue is making me want to gag. So that's really fun. And I've been trying my best. Like I already don't have an appetite, so I've been trying my best to eat, but this just made it worse. Like I tried to bite into a banana today. I did not know a banana could ever taste that bad. It literally tasted like just a pool of metal lava. Let me give you a book update. I think I'm really getting back into it. I'm getting back into the Sarah J. Maas. I think I just really needed that break, that like extended break kind of from the world and from the characters and all of that. But now I feel like I'm back into it. The storyline is no longer boring. I think it's also because we're getting to a point where like stuff is starting to pick up and we're finally passing like the introduction chapters. My fever is gone. I didn't have cold sweats or like the chills last night, and I slept pretty fine. For the past few nights, I've been like sleeping literally soaked in a pool of sweat. Sorry if that's disgusting, but you know, that's where I've been. And last night was the first night I was moderately dry, so that was fun. And I woke up today and I wasn't shivering to death, so that was also fun. The only thing now is that it feels like somebody has taken a rake to my throat and has just scratched it for 80 hours. But we're making improvements. I'm currently 236 pages through, and there's a total of 565. So I'm not halfway through yet, but I'm close. And the goal is really going to be, I don't think I'll be able to finish this and then read another book, because that just seems like I'm not that fast of a reader. But I think I'll be really, really proud of myself if I'm able to just finish this book, because this is pretty beefy for me. Like, this is a pretty hefty book for like my reading standard. Also, I'm really sorry because I feel like I sound so nasally today. Like, it's really worse today because the mucus is really there. It's really there. I'm really sorry. After I got off the train yesterday, I showed you guys I was reading on the train on my commute. And then when I got off the train, I forgot to turn off my timer. And luckily I remembered like what time I was at when I like put it on. I was at like 5 hours and like 30 minutes ish. So it stopped at 10 hours and 28 minutes. It was running for 5 hours and then I stopped it. So last night I read for 4 hours without starting it back again. And then this morning, I'm gonna read for another hour. And then after I do that, after I finally catch back up on the 5 hours, then I could start back the timer. Because I'm not about to cheat. Like, I can't go through all of this and then just cheat. So I need to catch up to my mistake. And then we could start the timer back again. Got to this part 2, Heir of Fire. I didn't even know it was split into 2 parts, but I think I'm pretty much like I'm more than halfway through. This book is really growing on me. I think it was really like a slow burn. It was a slow burn connection between me and this book. I think it was because book 1 and 2, I had that slow burn connection with our 3 main characters and I fell in love with them and I need the vibes. And then introducing like 4 new characters was like, girl, this is a lot. But as the book is going on and Sarah J Maas is doing her Sarah J Maas thing, I am quickly falling in love with these other characters. At first, I think I was getting really annoyed at first because with Manon, and this isn't spoilers, this is spoiler free, but like if you've read the book, you'll understand, but it's spoiler free. But with Manon Blackbeak, I was like, what's the point of her character? What's the point of her character? Because this is like she sounds just like Selena. Like, I'm not understanding. She sounds like a Selena replica. Manon and Abruxas, is that how you pronounce it? Abruxas, whatever. Their connection, that in itself makes me like want to cry. Like, literally, the tears are welling. Oh, I've cried twice today. Like, the tears have trickled and I've wiped them away because I'm just like, yeah, the Manon and Abruxas thing really got me. So now I like Manon. I don't like Sorsha. Have not found the purpose for Sorsha yet, but I don't know. I haven't found her purpose yet. Rowan? Love Rowan. Love Rowan. And if you've read this book and you just passed, if you've read this book and you've gotten through it and you've gotten past part 1, that final chapter of part 1, I literally just cried. Like, I think I say this a lot, like, normally it's really, really hard for me to, like, really, really like a main character, like, so much. I think Celaena is, like, one of the greatest main characters. Like, she's not annoying, and she just feels so real, and, like, I just feel so bad for this girl. Like, I just feel so bad that I just be crying. I'm like, girl. It's also making me really sad because I know that I'm gonna fall more and more in love with these characters, and it's gonna hurt like hell when I finally finish this series. Firstly, y'all, the fact that I have not taken off my school clothes yet, and I've been sitting here for hours not taking off my school clothes because I've been too enthralled in this story, tells you what it needs to tell you. I am back on my Sarah J. Maas addiction. I think I just keep coming up here to update you guys because I'm back. I'm back. She's back. She's back. But I do think one of Miss Maas's greatest strengths is, like, one of the main things that really just hurts my feelings. Like, it feels like a gunshot to the chest in this book specifically. And it's the fact that literally every chapter she writes feels like a novella. Like, she's the queen at writing perfect length chapters, like the perfect amount of stuff in a chapter. Nothing is wasted. Every chapter means something, and they all end on the most clenching cliffhanger. Like, you would think you would need to wait like 500 pages, you would need to wait at least 400 to get a good cliffhanger. No, you get a good cliffhanger after every chapter. But then with this book, it hurts a bit because I just got I was literally sitting here, let me reenact. This was me. And then I flip to the next page and we're in a different country. So it's like, but then it's okay because then like 10 sentences in, then I get back into this other story. But it's like following people in like, well, I guess it's just 2 different places, but following like 4, 5? Girl, the amount of POVs in this is a lot. But following like 5 POVs, I'm getting used to it, but it just kind of kicks me because sometimes like each POV kind of feels like its own novella. So it's like when one POV ends, it's like back to the other novella. But it's like I low-key forgot what was happening in the other novella, and then I'm like, oh. But then I was like, no, because they left me on a cliffhanger for this novella. Like, I was excited to get back into it. But now I'm just like, wait, but like you left me on this cliffhanger. That's how I'm feeling. But the toes are clenched, the toes are curling because I've missed a good fantasy romance. I say this and I'll say it again. Nothing compares to a fantasy romance. I think just the pain, the brutality, the bloodshed, the intensity, the stakes, nothing compares.
Y'all, I'm literally bawling my eyes out. But this isn't a spoiler, but if you read the book, you know. So I'm gonna just read this line. Abruxas is fine, Manon. Look at him. Look at him and see that he's fine. I think Abruxas and Manon is gonna be my favorite relationship in this. I had to turn my lights on to update you. I am 19 hours and 40 minutes in. And my heart has been broken and broken and broken and broken and broken. My head now no longer hurts from the fever. It hurts because I have literally just been crying for an hour straight because the pain does not stop. It does not stop. I'm so physically unwell. Like, I'm so unwell. And I know it's just gonna get worse. I have 100 more pages left. What the? I have 100 more pages left. Okay. My face hurts. No longer from the sickness, but because I was up until 3 a.m. last night, literally just crying continuously. The clip that I showed you guys was not even the worst of it. There was an entire chapter. What am I doing? Was I supposed to put on? No, let me just tell you real quick so I can do this quickly. We're in the home stretch. 22 hours in, I have 2 hours left. So I woke up basically 3 hours before school, but then I had to shower, wash my hair. So now it's 2 hours before school. I'm gonna try to, well, not try. I'm gonna finish up this last leg now. I don't know necessarily if I'm gonna finish the whole book in these last 2 hours. My hope is that I will. Also, maybe not, because that might be really, really traumatizing right before I go to class. So maybe I need to hold back, or maybe it just won't come to fruition. Like, maybe that's, I have 100 pages left, like exactly 100 pages. So I don't know if I could read 100 pages in 2 hours. I don't know. I think that would be a bit traumatizing for me to walk into class and I'm like crying. So maybe not. I was contemplating last night when I was reading. I was like, should I just stay up all night? Should I just pull an all-nighter? But then I was like, my head is throbbing, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to enjoy these beautiful, this magnificent moment, these painful moments as much with my head throbbing and my vision going in and out. And also, I had to remember that I'm sick. And first of all, a sickness update, I feel much better. I'm like 95% there. I don't know if my voice is better. It feels better. It doesn't feel as nasally. I think that's all because of sleep. What I tell you about sleep is important. Get your sleep, kids, because your body does repair itself in its sleep. So I only got 3 hours of sleep, but that 3 hours did a lot. I finished it 2 minutes ago. The 24 hours is complete. My timer says 25 because I forgot to stop recording it when I went to school, but I got to like 23 when I left for school, and then I just came home and read. I continued. It's been like 2 hours since I've been home and I've just finished it off. So we've completed it. We've completed that, but like my mind is no longer even on that. My mind is on what I just experienced. So before I get into that, really quickly, I want to give you guys my rating of Shatter Me because I didn't before. I give Shatter Me a 3.75. I think I absolutely had nothing that I disliked about Shatter Me. Like, I liked basically everything about this book. I think just because of the hype that it has on TikTok and the expectations that I had going into this, I expected it to be like I just expected it to be like intensity, like, oh my god, like I'm enthralled. Kind of like a Throne of Glass moment. I know I won't shut up about that book, but I like to compare. I'm sorry. I thought it would be another moment like that, and it wasn't, which is fine. You know, like, it doesn't have to be a 5-star read, but it's 3.75. And they do say that the first book is like, you know, it's good, but it's not the best one. And the third book in the series is supposed to be the best one. So I'm excited to get to that. But I really like the world. I like the characters that we've met. And I like the kind of relationships forming and stuff like that. So I'm excited to get back into these. I actually do not know what to say. I actually physically, genuinely do not know what to say because there's so much to say and I do not know what to say. My opinions have changed since I first
read this book and DNF'd it or like put it on hold. And I don't necessarily know if that's because I was maybe in like a fantasy burnout and I was in a fantasy slump and I just needed to have that break from fantasy like I did and then get back into it and then be excited about it again. I don't know if it's that or if the beginning of this book is just slow, but none of that matters. Like literally none of that matters, because once you get past like the first 150 pages, it's emotional, heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, heart-tugging, building up your soul, giving you little toe-curling butterflies, then punching you in the face. Like all of the emotions. I have been on an emotional roller coaster for the past few days. Like, babes, this is just the third book. But I think, and there's no spoilers in this review, I would not do that to you because you need to experience this for yourself. But there's just so much transformation of our main character in this book, and I really like our main character. I think she is one of my favorite main characters ever, just because I have a lot of sympathy for her, because damn, like, can we leave her alone? Can we please just let her be? Can we just let her live her life? But she also isn't annoying. So like, I love her. Like, I love her. She just goes through so much. So then it's just like, there's like a lot of transformation. And there was like a lot of sad tears. But there was also like a lot of tears of joy, which was like, I don't know. Like, I think I've also grown to love the world and like the dynamic of this world. And this isn't a spoiler, but like the king in this book actually genuinely fears me. Like, I might have nightmares about this man, which is great for like a villain to be that scary. But like, yeah, no. Like, I'm genuinely scared about this man. And I think that, and then knowing the suffering and the pain that like all of these citizens have been through, girl, I don't know, like, for some reason it felt like I was reading a documentary. I had to keep telling myself, like, Maya, these are fictional characters, these are fictional civilians, like, everybody is, well, not everybody, like, because it's based on some semblance of reality, because everything is. Yeah, it's just really, it's really emotional. At least I found it really emotional, and I like when books make me feel things, and that in itself, like, puts it. So what is my rating? I'm not gonna give it 5 because Throne of Grass, okay, that was a 5-star, and it wasn't that, but this is a 4.5, okay? Like, if the first thing, 4.5. And I also say that because this is a book I see myself, especially when I finish this series, this book specifically, I feel like I'm gonna want to come back to and reread. I put some tabs here and here. I need to like look at how people actually like annotate their books aesthetically, because I'm always just really worried that like I'm gonna do an annotation that's like permanently on my book, and then it's gonna be ugly when I want to reread it, and then I'm gonna hate myself for it. I just did sticky notes for now on like chapters. I sticky noted chapter 54, if you guys know, just in case I need to feel a bit of pain. Just in case. And I sticky noted page 516. So if you've read it, if you've had it, check those page numbers, and you know my vibe. But there was so much now that I've gotten to the end that like in the beginning, I want a sticky note as well. And like, I just want to write my feelings, my heart out, because I'm like, Miss Mass did it. Sarah J. Maas did it. She did it. She did it well. She does it every time, apparently. She has the entire community on a leash. The entire fantasy community. So that's my complete readathon. I think this was more of like a race between my flu and reading in 24 hours, because I was like, they were both fighting against each other. And I think they just ended up at a tie because my flu is pretty much done. Like, I feel great. And my books are done. And the 24 hours are done. So, is my homework done? I'll get on that. But I would want to do more 24-hour readathons, because I think this really gave me an excuse to just tell everybody, like, shut up, I'm reading. Normally, I like to give in to distractions and like to be like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this. But I liked having to tell people, like, I have to read. It just felt good because, like, I did have to read. for the 24 hours, but it like helped me get through a book in a more fulfilling way. So yeah.